This month on The Spark, our theme is advancing education and collaboration. We'll learn more about a homework hotline providing free one-on-one tutoring to K-12 students across Tennessee, an organization providing a coding education and employment preparation programs to those in the prison system, and a digital platform changing the way individuals and organizations connect, communicate, and collaborate. We'll also share a special moment from our Spark Awards 2020.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.
Additional funding for The Spark is provided by Meriton, United Way of the Mid-South, MyTown Movers, MyTown Roofing, MyTown Miracles, and by SERVES.
Ever been excited by a new idea? Inspired by watching someone lead by example? When we talk about creating change, we start by sharing the stories of everyday heroes who are making a difference in their own way so we can learn and do the same. I'm Jeremy Park, and this is The Spark. They offer free tutoring for K-12 students across Tennessee. We're here at the Executive Director of Homework Hotline, Madeline Adams. And let's start, Madeline. Give us a little bit of a history lesson for starting Homework Hotline.
Thanks, Jeremy. We're really excited to be here and to talk about Homework Hotline. So Hotline is here in our 30th year. We have partnered, started in Metro Nashville Public Schools and have really spread across the state. So we cover the entire state of Tennessee, partnering with 49 different districts and community organizations. And we're excited, especially with our new partnership a year and a half ago with Shelby County Schools in Memphis. And this year as well, we signed on a new partnership with Agape Child and Family Services, Journey Community Schools. So we're excited to be in the Memphis community on the ground with teachers from Shelby, as well as our office here in Nashville where I am, and really serving students across the state with our free tutoring. We started all over the telephone, and that's what has been really wonderful, a great boon in this shift where everybody's going virtual. We've always been over the telephone. We've never had in-person tutoring. And so bringing the technology gaps, we have students can take a picture of their assignments and text it to us now. Think about 10 years ago, that didn't happen. And we also have online whiteboards. So students can jump onto an online whiteboard with their assigned tutor and with a tutor they work with that night to work one-on-one real time. And students working on essays, they can share a Google document. And we've been able to use technology to our advantage, especially this year, while most students are working remotely as it is.
Talk about the different subjects, because already, as you're alluding to, you can think working on whiteboards, math, the essays, so it's language arts, but talk about the different subjects and the expertise.
Absolutely. So exactly that. Math is our most popular subject. We have about 72% of our students call in needing math help. The remainder of them will call in for science, English, history, social studies. We're seeing an uptick in upper level students as well. So about 25 to 30% of our students this year are upper level high school students, which is an increase from last year. But we do serve students kindergarten through 12th grade. And Hotline from the very beginning has hired only certified teachers. So we are really proud to have certified teachers or retired who are still very with it and very competent to be able to handle especially subjects like physics and AP Chem, or even third grade reading. So we have teachers across all subjects at all grade levels, certified, working in Metro Nashville Public Schools or Shelby County Schools, or recently retired from either of those districts. So we're excited that we really can serve any student with almost any subject. And we have as well, to help cover a lot of the different types of students that Hotline serves, really is primarily for, we serve all students in Tennessee. However, we do know that students find the most value with us because they may not speak English as a first language. So we have teachers that can speak Spanish, Arabic, Farsi, Hindi, Mandarin, and Swahili. We have We really focus on students who can't afford private tutoring. So we are here as a free service for all students, that students cannot afford private tutoring. So we're here for students for that. And as well, they might have, we have an online chat. We want to be as accessible as possible. So we have an online chat that's available. Students live in rural areas that may not have good cellular reception on their phone, or we've had students on our chat say, I'm hard of hearing, and chat is a lot easier because I don't have to rely on confusions over the telephone. So we really want to be as accessible to all students in Tennessee as possible.
Give us an illustration of what success looks like on your end.
Yeah, so success looks to Homework Hotline. At the base level, during a session with a tutor, a student says, thank you so much, that helped. And this day and age, we learn to be independent, and we learn to, it's hard to ask for help. And I find a lot of value from our students who, for the first time, say, I need help. And so just to hear that, to me, is extremely successful for our students at the very beginning. But really at the end of each session, when they say that was invaluable, you're a godsend, and we have the opportunity to sign our students up with weekly tutoring. So we'll work with them week to week on the same subject with one tutor. And we've had parents and guardians call in or email and say, even after 2, 3, 4 sessions, my student has more confidence in that subject. Their grades have improved just a little bit. We had one student last year who was one of our weekly tutoring students whose mom said, oh my goodness, he's failed every single math test. This is his first test. It was 1 point over passing, but it's the first time he did not ever have to retake the test. And he's keeping that grade, but we have seen that improvement. So we're excited. We know that hearing from those stories that we find success through that as well. I mean, baseline, just someone that says thank you. That's what we find value at the end of the day.
It's all the little thank yous. Absolutely. But even to your point, the small movement then creates the big movement, which, tracking over time, that's how real change occurs. Exactly. Talk about how we can help, because obviously there's a cost on your end, a financial cost. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about providing this as a free service, well, it's free to the students and the families, but there is a cost. And so financial contributions to support your efforts are huge. How can we help?
Absolutely. So Homework Hotline will always be free for Tennessee students. We are really fortunate to have a really great support network in school districts, and that's really where we find a lot of value as well. Shelby County Schools, Journey Community Schools, Agape Child and Family Services, Metro Nashville Public Schools, Hardeman County Schools are all really wonderful financial supporters of Homework Hotline. What we do, I actually have in front of me, we send out our promotional binder inserts to all of our partner school districts. These are not free for us to produce. And we also have really great supporters in organizations like Scarlet Family Foundation, Memorial Foundation, Maddox Family Foundation, Sonic Drive-Ins is a great supporter. A lot of great foundations and corporations support Homework Hotline for our services in Middle Tennessee and across the state. Really, the support is both financial as well as, making sure the community is aware of our services.
Absolutely. So the last question is the easy one, is where do we go to learn more? So website, social media, phone numbers, where do we go?
So baseline, all of our updated information is going to be on our website right here over my shoulder, homeworkhotline.info, I-N-F-O. We also are on all the social media networks. Our phone number, this is our main phone number, 615-298-6636. Our Memphis phone number, partnering with Shelby County, is 901-416-1234 for free tutoring in Tennessee.
Well, Madeline, I love it. Greatly appreciate you and your team and all your teachers and everyone for supporting your efforts and all you do. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, Jeremy, thank you so much for having us.
They offer coding services and employment preparation programs. We're here with the program director for Persevere, Stacey Books-Mesko. And Stacey, let's start. Give us some history for Persevere.
So Persevere started about 4 to 5 years ago. One man with a vision coming out of recovery and drug addiction wanted to be able to give back to others. And so owning a software company and seeing the struggles that everyone had with finding employment and really just being successful, he wanted to be able to give back. So that's really kind of where we started 2 years ago. We started here in the state of Tennessee, offering coding classes into 3 of the prisons, which is we are still currently in those prisons. And our program has expanded a little bit since then.
To dive in, I mean, talk about, when you talk about the coding program, let's go into the prison first. Talk about how you work with the prisoners with the coding education. So start there.
Okay, so we actually have software engineers that are instructors that deliver our coding to those individuals inside the prison. Of course, with COVID, we now deliver that remotely. Prior to that, we were in the classroom with them 6 hours a day, delivering that program.
And then you mentioned obviously expanding. And so now you're not just in the prison, you're outside of the prison as well. So talk about that aspect.
Yeah, so when COVID first hit, we were awarded a grant through the Tennessee Department of Human Services. And with that grant, not only were we able to continue the program inside the prison, but we were able to open it up to those in the community. So now our approach is just a little bit different. It still has to have someone that's justice involved in the program, but it could be a youth between the ages of 11 and 24, or it could be the parent or guardian that's justice involved. And so 2 individuals can now learn how to code software and find employment. And the whole goal behind it is to provide a holistic approach to change that family dynamic, to pull them out of that high poverty, high crime area, and to put them in a successful job that they're able to provide to their family.
And we're definitely going to come back to the coding in terms of the power of it, but talk about the employment program and the assistance and the services around that, because it is a lot more than just the coding. So talk about the job skills.
Sure. So one of the things that we found was we could teach them to code all day long. The problem is a lot of our students have never had a job, or if they had, it's not been a job in a professional setting. So we created what we call career readiness, and our employment specialists deliver that curriculum to them inside the prison and outside. And that focus is not only to prepare them to interview, but it's to prepare them to interview in an IT setting, because interviewing in a regular job is completely different than the IT world. But it also gives them those essential skills that they need, and even breaks it down in how to deliver your criminal history, what's legal, what's not legal, and you know, how to soften that punch of having a background.
Talk about the coding, and when you talk about the IT, the tech sector, it is rapidly growing. As you mentioned, a lot of jobs, lucrative jobs.
Right.
So talk about why coding and why tech in terms of the space that you're in.
You know, we did some serious research to figure out what the market was going to be like. And according to the United States Department of Labor and Statistics, they were looking at 1 million job openings in the IT industry, but there was a huge shortfall. We're talking hundreds of thousands of positions unfilled. And we thought, what better population to learn those skills and fill those positions than those that are justice involved?
And to your point, I feel like within the tech sector, it's a youth-led, in many cases, a lot more willingness to bring on those who have served, some time or have made a mistake in their past and giving them a second chance. So I feel like of any industry, the coding in the tech space is a really good opportunity to kind of have a next chance.
It is. And, a lot of it has to do with educating the employer, educating the organization. But the thing is what we have found with current employers is they're not really concerned about what their background history is. It's what they can do. What skills can they bring to the table? And that's really what we're preparing them for. So not only do we teach them a 12-month coding program, but we've also created a side of our program with a for-profit company that offers them 6 months on-the-job training. So that 6 months gives them an opportunity to work with offshore engineering teams where they're senior level developers and to really understand what it's like to work in a production style environment.
Give us an idea of what success looks like.
Right now, I have about 26 individuals that have graduated our program. And I know that doesn't seem like a very high number, but we normally have an average of 17 students in our classrooms. When COVID hit, a lot of our students were released without our knowledge, and so we're still trying to pull them back in. We have 0 recidivism. So for that's success. That means that none of our students have committed a new crime or been rearrested. all of our graduates have been employed in an IT field, and they're all either living independently on their own. Some of them are still living in our transition home. And so seeing them not only live independently, but find that full-time employment, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Talk about how we can help.
So there's multiple things that someone can help. One of those ways is volunteers. We are always looking for someone in an IT field that's willing to mentor or volunteer. Here in Memphis, we have the men's transition home. So we're always looking for individuals that are willing to mentor those guys, maybe come in, cook dinner, and just really kind of sponsor them right through the changes and the transition. Of course, financially, we're always willing to take any type of donation. And then it even really comes down to donation of clothing. Some of our guys move from the transition home into their own housing. So we've been blessed. A lot of people have provided beds and dressers and tables and so things like that. But, we're willing to take anyone and everyone who's willing to kind of jump in and help these guys succeed.
And then talk about website, social media, phone number. Where do we go to get involved?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to give you my personal cell. It rings off the hook anyway. So my cell phone number is 615-582-7796. You can also go to our website, which is perseverenow.org. And there is a section on there where you can complete a volunteer application. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Well, Stacey, greatly appreciate all you and your team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
All right, thank you.
The Spark Awards annually recognize and celebrate individuals and organizations that have made outstanding contributions to the community. The 2020 recipient of the Educator Award is Roya Alizadegan of Houston High School.
Okay, so I have been teaching special education for 12 years now. I've been at Houston for, I came in January of 2015. So I've been here for 6 years. This is my 6th year. And I am on the general ed side of special education. So my students are mainstreamed in the general education classes. I've co-taught Algebra 2 for 6 years here. I've co-taught English 11 a couple years, geometry, Algebra 1. But this year I mainly am with Algebra 2 and a post-secondary. So it's a transition to post-secondary class where our students with IEPs are working towards graduation, and I want to make sure that they have a program or a college or a career, whatever they decide after graduating high school, that they are prepared and they are ready to enter the real world. Academics are huge and academics are important, but teaching them how to be a good human and be a good individual is equally as important to me. And after you build those relationships, that's when you can truly help them academically and helping them find out what their strengths are and where their weaknesses are and how they can advocate for themselves and still learn the same material that everybody else does. They may learn a little bit differently and it may be a little bit harder for them and they may have to work a little bit more at it, but being there through them, working with them, coming alongside them, and helping them achieve all of their goals. And I think just watching them grow and mature and seeing how different they are just from 9th grade to senior year, how much they've grown and matured is really probably what lights me up most. And then, checking up, following through with them while they're in school or in college. I still talk to students that graduated 12 years ago. And I'd love to just touch base and say, hey, where are you at? I've gone to a couple weddings of kids. And so I think it's really huge to kind of be with them, from 14 to, some are now 25, 26, and just see where they are and how great they're doing. I think that's what I love most about teaching.
They're a community for growth. We're here with the co-founder of UpSquad, Derrick Reives. And Derrick, let's start. Give us a little bit of what led you to start UpSquad.
First of all, thank you for inviting me today just to share our story with the community. We began probably 2.5 years ago. We noticed that there was a great need for those who needed advice to find those who could provide them with that help and that advice virtually. So we created a community to make it easy just to go online and find people that can help you in any area of life. What happened is as soon as social distancing hit, we found that there's just a huge need with many, many different types of organizations. So what we did at that point is just quickly evolved in 2020 to an overall virtual community where organizations can just take all of their members, put them online in a virtual community. This helps them with engagement because there is definitely a need now for engagement virtually. When you move from face-to-face to virtual, also it helps from a data standpoint. So we're talking about nonprofits, schools, whether it's K through 12 or universities, as well as businesses.
You've got the fully integrated platform that brings on Zoom and these other technologies. So everything is in one place that allows them to communicate, collaborate, connect for nonprofits, for schools, as you mentioned, teaming up with mentors, students, alumni. So illustrate a little bit how the platform is used.
Sure. So you definitely hit on something. We have built value on top of Zoom. Since everyone is virtual already on their phones or computers, we have really taken it to the next level. Some people refer to Zoom on steroids once they see our demo and what we could do. So I'll give you some examples. In the Nashville area, we are partnered with an organization. They are helping 12 area Nashville public schools, and they're partnering professionals in the community with students to really help them in their career. We're also partnered with another organization out of Chicago doing the same thing with a public Chicago school system. So they are very, very excited because it gives access to professionals in the community, to young adults, those that may be in school or right out of school that really need their advice and help. Also, right here in town in Memphis, we're partnered with Leadership Memphis. So what they're using it for is to take leaders around town and their current programs that they're going through. I know many people watching this are probably Leadership Memphis alumni. So everything is virtual now. So they're using UpSquad to basically create a virtual community so that the current classes and future classes will have this virtual community to communicate one-on-one as well as in their teams as part of this program. So we're helping with young adults and leaders alike, disadvantaged communities. I really can't stress that enough. Organizations out of Arizona that we're talking to that works with special athletes, organizations out of New York City that work with New York City youth. So the examples go on and on.
And I think part of the magic is that everything is in one place. And so you can put your availability, you can book it directly, you can sync everything. There's a lot of functionality to it. Share maybe one or two other things that really do make it special in that regard in terms of making it easy and seamless.
So what we found is that if you talk to different organizations, and we've talked to hundreds of them, is that they are attacking the virtual problem now in different ways. So some are using this technology with Google, some are using Zoom, some are using Microsoft Teams, some are using, they're collecting data through survey technologies. What we've done is we said, you know what, instead of reinventing the wheel, what we're doing is we're integrating with all these top technologies that they're already using. And so they can come to one place and actually use those same technologies that they're using to capture data or to bring people by video or to do this. So by building it in one place, it puts the data in one place. This is what's really missing, how to use that data for grant funding, how to capture that data to improve your programs, to find out who's getting help and who's not. So that's how we're definitely helping in that area.
Talk about being a Memphis-based company in the sense of local investors working within the entrepreneurial community. Give a little bit of what that's like on your end as a Memphis-based company.
So when we started, we were launched out of the University of Memphis Career Center for Entrepreneurship. So we have been supported during our lifetime with this organization by the university. So we are backed by them, with them as well as funders from that organization. So what they're doing is they're making sure that we succeed. And so we're also partnered with other organizations in town. So startups here in town or nonprofits or schools here in town, they love the story. So we talked to a school right before the Christmas holidays that deals with kids with learning disabilities. So they want to use us because we are Memphis-based. So we're gaining a lot of support, a lot of traction because we are here in Memphis. Our goal is to hire in Memphis. So we are now hiring. We're looking for a salesperson. I wanted to kind of throw that out there. Our goal is to grow innovation in Memphis. Our goal is to show others that they can succeed here in Memphis with an innovative technology, that this can be ground zero.
We'll wrap up, Derrick, with contact information, website. Where do we go to learn more and to plug into UpSquad?
I do want to say this, though, before we wrap up. I think we're all looking forward to getting back together face to face. This is what, me personally, as well as the organizations, but what organizations have realized is that this is around to stay, that there's a new era of business. This hybrid model that schools have already enacted, well, things in the future will be part face-to-face and part virtual. And so we're helping prepare for this hybrid model, this new era of business. So please contact us at UpSquad.com. If you come to our homepage on UpSquad.com, there's a place to just put in and contact us, and we'll get right back to you.
Well, Derrick, thank you for all you and your team do. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Hard to believe, but this episode kicks off year number 9 for the Spark. It's an honor and a privilege to continue sharing the good news and to continue highlighting the organizations and individuals who power the good in our community. Organizations like Homework Hotline are making a difference by helping our K-12 students advance their education through free tutoring in reading, language arts, math, social studies, science, and more, which are all taught by certified teachers. Nonprofits like Persevere are stepping into the prison system to provide hope and opportunities through their coding and employment preparation programs, which decreases recidivism and creates a positive ripple effect in our community. And Memphis-based companies like UpSquad continue innovating to advance our ability to collaborate and grow through their virtual communities and integrated technologies. The more we collaborate, the greater the difference we can make. So thank you for your support and for continuing to power the good. To learn more about each of the guests, to watch past episodes, and to share your stories of others leading by example, visit WKNO.org and click on the link for the Spark. We look forward to seeing you next month, and we hope that you'll continue joining with us to create a spark for the Mid-South.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.